Whilst I've been enjoying my hobby of purchasing Skyrim in as many ways as possible these last few years, I've been wanting to play some of the other games in the franchise properly. And since Bethesda just released a remaster for Oblivion with very little warning, I can think of no better time to expand my Elder Scrolls palette. I've seen quite a few videos coming out within an hour of the game going live, offering reviews and opinions, despite them only having played the menu and character creation.
This is great! And all I've done is enter my name!
But fair enough, this opening monologue is pretty great, 9 out of 10. Well, that's my review finished, but I figure I'll keep playing anyway. There are a lot of options for character creation, leading to some really unique looks. But of course I played as an Argonian, they're awesome.
I am the Lizard Queen!
We start in a cell and meet some agents of the legendary Blades. You may recognise them from that other game, Elder Scrolls Blades. We also meet the Emperor, played by Patrick Stewart, whose voice makes the character feel that bit more special and regal.
Now let's all get drunk and play ping pong.
The Emperor tells us that he's seen us in one of his dreams, and as such believes that we're important. You see, the Targaryen family, the Septim family, have dragon blood, giving them prophetic dreams of the future. And because of that, he keeps telling us about how his impending death is going to happen soon.
Ah! Death!
That's only the cat.
We eventually have to split off from the Blades to start fighting some giant rats.
I call the big one Bitey.
And, actually learning how to play the game. Pretty much immediately, I think my favourite thing about this remaster is the animations. The attack, block, and just general movement animations look so much nicer. When I make my visual mod packs for Skyrim, the player animations are always the thing above all else that I think makes the game look so much better. Although something I've found already that's quite annoying, if you switch to a bow from a sword and shield setup, the shield will remain and completely block your line of sight whilst you're trying to aim. So moving through the dungeon, we get drip-fed some items so that we can learn how to use them. I ignored the lockpicking tutorial because of course I did, and then had to figure it out myself, which wasn't too bad. I wonder if I will learn anything about skipping tutorials from this experience. Travelling a bit further, I found a set of proper heavy armour, so I could more confidently charge the goblins a bit more aggressively.
You're gonna die, you little bastards!
I also got some scrolls and learned how magic works. Unlike in Skyrim, magic binds to a different key, so your hands can both be holding weapons and spells at the same time, making the spell sword setup far more viable, but I'm not sure how effective a pure mage would be because of this. I found a mortar and pestle to learn how to use alchemy, and it's pretty similar to Skyrim, but with less experimentation. You're only allowed to make potions that your character knows will work by having matching effects on the ingredients. But here I made a tasty potion out of some human flesh I found.
I ate a man alive tonight.
With my newfound skills, I regroup with the Blades and the Emperor is still talking about his impending death. It's really cool how they got Patrick Stewart to voice a major character. It really makes the whole experience feel more, oh, he's dead. This is basically the end of the tutorial, and we need to choose our starting class. After, honestly, an embarrassing amount of time thinking it through, I decided to go for Archer.
My name is Bing Bong the Archer. I'm an archer and such.
And then we finally get to see daylight. It's at this point you basically become free to do whatever you want, so I went into the city to buy some stuff with the gold I found.
Explain how. Money can be exchanged for goods and services.
It's here I first run into the Persuasion mechanic, which is actually a puzzle minigame, and once again, having learnt nothing, I skipped the instructions. This time though, just figuring it out seemed unfeasible, and I had to shamefully go back into the menu and reread the instructions. This minigame is pretty cool. You basically have to work out the most cost-effective way to order these 4 interactions to get more positive effects than negative. You can tell which ones are positive and negative from the bizarre expression the NPC makes, kind of like LA Noire. So I bought some books because I'm really cultured, and set off for Chorrol to destroy a ring or something. And on the road is where we first start to run into some performance issues. All of the inside sections work absolutely fine, but this game does struggle a bit with keeping a consistent frame rate when you're in the big open areas, or in battles with a lot of entities at once. Most of the time, I think it's fine, but there is a section I'll talk about later on where it gets very noticeable. Anyway, I stormed a goblin lair. This feels excessive. I got mugged.
Pay up or else.
Stop! He's already dead!
Found some new armour to try on. And I met some Imperial guards on patrol. He's not got any horse armour. I guess the Imperial army hates the Creation Club as much as the rest of us. Finally, as night fell, I found the monk Jauffre, who explained the plot. Basically, the Emperor has this magical pact, allowing them to light the fires, which prevents Mehrunes Dagon from invading. So if there's no Emperor, there is nothing stopping Oblivion from invading Tamriel. And learning this makes me feel really awkward about my part in the Skyrim Dark Brotherhood questline. I'm sure it'll be fine. So my new quest needed me to head to Kavach, which is quite a trek away. I could always just fast travel. So I decided it would be a good idea to buy a horse, but I needed money. So my first port of call was to sign up for the Fighters Guild, who accepted me wholeheartedly, but then said I had to travel to one of the other cities to get missions, which is strange. I think the guildmaster just didn't want to have to talk to me anymore and lied about it. With little other options, I returned to the Imperial city and discovered that there is another way to make money in this game. So I bet on a fight in the arena with what little gold I'd found so far.
Good news, guys. I spent all my money.
I bet on the blue team, although I don't think they know what a team is because this is clearly just one person. Things looked good, but the fight quickly turned sour. So naturally, I did what everyone else does when watching sport and tried to shoot the athletes. But there was a barrier protecting them. Curses, foiled again. So gambling didn't work, but you can also enter the arena as a gladiator. I figure I'm a pretty good fighter, it seems like a great way to make some money.
You want to be a combatant?
Welcome aboard.
So I won my fight, and it was all exciting, but if I wanted enough money for a horse, I'd need to look elsewhere. I found a wanted poster for the Grey Fox, a notorious thief who, amongst other things, had committed forgery, burglary, tax evasion, and fraud.
Grunkle Stan, why did you write this?
Because I regularly commit massive tax fraud.
Unlike in Skyrim, when you hear rumours or see notes like this that lead onto quests, it doesn't just give you a marker to follow, you have to ask around and gather clues yourself. It feels more like a classic RPG style, like Baldur's Gate. You're forced to actually engage with the towning side of things, instead of just following markers and ticking off the checklist. It's really cool. So I asked around and learned that the Grey Fox is quite well liked by the homeless of the city, especially in the waterfront. So I travelled there and asked around in a cool tavern that was made from a ship. Whilst I was there, I slept so that I could level up, and upon waking discovered that the ship had set sail, and I was now stuck in the middle of the ocean. Which was unexpected. The ship had been overtaken by a gang of thieves who interrogated me for information.
Hey, who in Oblivion are you?
I don't understand the question, and I won't respond to it.
Defeating the thieves wasn't too difficult, and the captain agreed to return me to the docks, which was nice of him. After all this trouble though, I decided to stop messing about and trying to make money, and just decided to take the long walk to Kavach. We arrive at Kavach to find it under siege by the forces of Mehrunes Dagon, and a massive Oblivion gate is blocking the city entrance, trapping civilians inside and delivering reinforcements to attack them. The city guard is struggling to hold them at bay, so it falls to a lone hero to charge into the portal and close it from the inside. In Blackmarsh, the Argonians managed to fight the Daedra so effectively that they began to counter-invade the Deadlands, and Dagon was forced to close all the portals there. So of course, the townsfolk of Cyrodiil are forced to rely on an elite Argonian warrior to rescue them here as well.
You don't even know my real name. I'm the Lizard King.
We storm the portal and begin invading Hell itself, cutting down demons and devils left, right and centre. We climb the tower, find the missing soldier and offer to rescue him, but he seems to think there's no time to rescue him. I like the design of the Deadlands, all the fire and brimstone. The chests are made out of hearts, and there's this stained glass window that I thought looked really cool. Wow, this window looks really cool. See? Finally, we reach the top and can close the portal. With the portal closed, we're finally in position to lead a charge into Kavach and save the civilians. Some Imperial soldiers show up and offer to help, which is nice of them, and having these extra bodies around does a lot to sell this as a larger scale battle to save an entire town from a small army. But as mentioned earlier, the frames can struggle a bit with the amount of entities on screen. Even with some slight FPS drops, we fought our way through the castle and into the Great Hall, where finally I experienced some classic Bethesda corpse physics. So we cleared the castle and saved the city, finally earning the title of the Hero of Kavach. But my task was not yet complete. Sean Bean needs escorting to the Cloud Temple in the mountains, and you just don't refuse that man. Oh, also they gave me a horse for free, so I guess all that stuff we did before was just a complete waste of time. We set off on the road and made our way up the mountains. The horses in Oblivion have unlimited sprint, but no combat mechanics, which, if I'm honest, I think is better than Skyrim's approach. Here they're just travel mounts, and that's all they need to be. We ran into some bandits on the road, one of which seemed really confused. There was another Oblivion Gate to storm, but this time they had flame turrets. I also found Frostcrag Tower, and managed to use up all of my lockpicks trying to open the door. I did think that these mountains looked amazing from a distance, and getting closer, I still thought they looked good.
Then I moved.
The textures are great, but once you start moving around up here, there can be some really noticeable frame rate issues. They do tend to go away once you're in the same place for a little while. I was able to get up the mountain easily thanks to my incredible Bethesda horse, although my NPC's pathfinding did struggle a bit. Eventually, we made it to the temple, the most secure fort in all of Cyrodiil. Oh, I guess we're just going to leave the gate open. Anyway, Boromir gives a speech, and we're invited to join the Blades. Alright, but I'm not killing Parthenax. So overall, there are issues mainly with frame rate in this remaster, but they are pretty rare. And everything looks so good most of the time. It's a really great opportunity to experience the game, especially if you haven't played it before. Besides, at this point, performance issues and 20-year-old game design feels like a pretty standard AAA experience. At least this one's fun.